things are looking quite different around here.
And no, I ain't talking about all the pretty fun little weeds and bare dirt and splotchiness we got going on.
Nay, I'm talking about this right here. All of this. Look at that. Check it out. Turf Fam and I have been really hard at work trying to get the property polished the way we've always wanted it since we moved in. Quite honestly, this is something that I've wanted to do since becoming a homeowner, and I've never really planted roots long enough to tackle projects like this. So I'm happy I'm finally to this point. So here's Turf Boss. I'll let her kind of explain what's going on and why.
After observing our yard for the last couple of years, we're noticing that our yard naturally does not grow grass. It struggles along the fence line here. So our idea, can I point?
Yes.
I talked with my hands. Our idea is to...
Well, we were gonna do concrete or stone or some kind of nicer edging, but we were undecisive about the design, the shape, all that kind of stuff, and I think we were having a hard time committing to something that permanent.
Right. So then we decided to do the metal landscaping strips where we can just design it like what we have in the front yard, just having it here in the backyard. And then we designed it in a way that to have it kind of curved, which matches the front yard. We started with the hose to get the design, and then we know where to dig to put in the metal stripping.
Yeah, because it's easier to move a rubber hose around to get the design you want versus stakes and string or even spray painting it down. It's easier to move this around and change it to get the design you want versus those other methods.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
We've got the design we want. Now we gotta just dig it out.
Dig it out, and our plan is to fill it in with plants and rocks. We're still trying to figure out how we want to do that. But yeah, fill it in with plants and rocks and have it more landscaped back here.
Once we finally had the design that we wanted and we were happy with the rubber hose, I went through and I lightly dug down into the ground to kind of mark that design. After that, we busted out the spray paint and we went over it so we could see it better. Then we started the process of digging everything out to create a little bit of a trench for our metal landscaping. Now, I've seen people do this a few different ways, one being that they just drive the edging down into the turf and cut or dig out after the fact. I would recommend doing it the way that we did it, good, bad, whatever, that's how we did it, seems to be the best. The next task at hand was to go through and dig out what remained of the turf, the weeds, all the nastiness, get that out of there. And then we brought in a couple of cubic yards of soil/compost mix, dumped that in here, leveled it out, and now we're ready for planting. This bed, this landscaping, this is one of the reasons why we dug the irrigation lines that we had out. We knew that we wanted to do some sort of landscaping back here. We just didn't know when or what exactly we wanted. But now that we have this in place, we can go back to figuring out our irrigation system and the problems we have there. Probably also worth noting that we finally fixed up the beds in the front. Here's Turf Boss again.
Since we had the trailer, we decided to freshen this up with some new mulch because it definitely needed it. Sad and bare. Fresh and beautiful. So you can see where it's all bare and where we have freshened up. Makes our front yard look 10 times better already.
The day after I published my last video, I had a representative from the irrigation company come out and explain to me what's going on and help me pinpoint the problem. And yeah, just talk me through how to get more water pressure into the back and fix all of that.
To recap, let's talk about this in here. First, let me explain why I thought the lines were set up the way they were. I was under the impression that their main line came in here into the pressure regulator, to the filter, then to my shutoff valve, and then to the lines in the back. And that was the only point that I had to shut off the water going to the lines in the back. So I thought once I shut the water off there was still water flowing through here. And the reason for that is when I take the cap off there for the filter, water just continually flowed out of there at a pretty good rate. And so it kind of freaked me out, threw the cap back on there and said, wait, I'll just have them come out here and explain to me what's going on here.
Now, the reason I was under that impression is not long ago we had fiber internet ran through the entire neighborhood, and before they started digging and trenching and doing their whole thing, they had somebody come through and mark all the utility lines and whatnot, and they had marked that the water line for the irrigation was coming in at this direction. Turns out they were wrong. They had marked the main over there. They thought they marked the secondary here, and again, they thought it was coming in up this direction, but they were wrong. The representative from the irrigation company said that their shutoff valve is over on this side, buried underneath the ground, and for them to shut it off, they got to dig it out, turn it off so I can do whatever I need to, blah, blah, blah.
So we took a look in here, said everything looks fine. The cap coming off of the water filter and having water come out of there is perfectly normal, so long as it doesn't look like chocolate milk. Filter is fine, we're all good there. This right here, pressure regulator, that is the issue. He informed me that every house in the neighborhood has 120 PSI running to the property, and if that cap were off with a full 120 PSI, we would just be drenched. We'd be showering right now, right? So he said, I just need to simply adjust the pressure regulator, which I kind of had pinpointed as the problem thanks to some guys in the lawn forum. Again, they had mentioned that that might be the issue right there. It might have to be adjusted. But I also thought that I wasn't allowed to adjust that because back in Georgia, definitely cities regulated that kind of stuff and you couldn't mess with any of this. But he confirmed that everything from here forward is mine. It's my system. I can do whatever I want to it. I can adjust that to however much I want. So that's what we're gonna do. And I can aim to get about 65 PSI in the back. So let's throw the gauge on the spigot back there and get to it. All right, gauge is on there. Gonna turn the water on. There we go. Sitting at, now we're sitting below 40. So, all right, let's adjust the pressure regulator. Hopefully that climbs. All right, so we've got the gauge on the back. Loosened this up with these bad boys right here. Now we're going to just loosen everything up. Might as well just go all the way, right? Just gonna send it. All right, that's practically out. Like one more turn, that's gonna come out. Well, adjusting it has done absolutely nothing. So I guess only thing really left to do fails, just mow out your problems. So I don't have the irrigation situation figured out, problem solved, whatever today, but in time I will. And that's your motivation / takeaway for today. When it comes to solving a problem, getting things to look good, either in your lawn, your property, whatever the case may be, I've boiled it down to two things: time and effort. That's really what it comes down to. Sure, finances come into play, which is one of the reasons why it's taken us this long to get where we're at with our property, getting the landscape beds fixed up and actually creating a new landscape bed in the back in preparation for planting trees and shrubs, bushes, and things that we want back there to beautify our home and our property. We simply just have not had the funds to do what we wanted to up until now. Life is a little bit more stable. We're able to set aside the money to do what we want with our property, and that's just a fact of life. And the other thing I want to encourage you to do, get your family involved. Get them out here, get them working with you, create some memories. I promise you, you won't regret it. I'm the type of person that wants to get out there and just get it done, but I'm learning to slow down, let the kiddos out here, let the whole turf fam get involved,
so we can all just enjoy the process together. Don't compare your property to somebody else's on the tubes, on social media, whatever. Do what you can, when you can, with what you got. And then the rest will take care of itself in time. Because honestly, I think that's what it all really boils down to, is taking the time, giving it time, and putting in a little bit of effort. There you go. The journey continues on getting the property looking good, getting the irrigation situated. We'll just keep pushing forward. We'll keep it on, right? Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the thumbs up if you did. If you think you know what's going on with the irrigation in the back, the pressure regulator, whatever, leave those in the comment section below so I can try and narrow in on what to do, how to fix it, and get this problem mystery solved. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. Keep on keeping on, and I will catch you in the next one.